Welcome to the Superfacts Show on the Superfacts Network, featuring St. Laz, who also hosts the popular web series Gem Pop, and music journalist Mark Walter Ward. They have discussions about hip-hop, culture, society, philosophy, and everything else. Now available on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts. What up, world? It's Mark Walter Ward, the Superfacts Show. Tonight with us, we got Mike Powell of MP Consults, also part of the Make It Matter project, a contributing author to a book that they got coming out very soon, available for pre-order. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. Good to see you. Good to talk to you again tonight. Hope all is well with you and the fam.
Yes, sir. You too. I mean, hey, before we even get into it, you got a still a newborn, right?
Not she about a year and a half now, so she
Time be flying.
Flying by, man, flying by. But yeah, she's growing and moving and learning new words, and we looking at daycare and trying to decide that we want to do that, man. Life is happening pretty fast, bro.
That's your first kid?
Yep, first one.
Yeah, I got three. Speak of the devil. Yeah, I got three myself, and that definitely changes outlooks, perspectives.
That's right.
Time schedules.
That's right. That's
priorities.
Right. Yep. All that. Yep. So it's been cool because, of course, during the pandemic, we've been home. So, I've been home with her.
Oh yeah, that's kind of like a double blessing, because instead of just like the bonding with the mother, it's a constant bonding with both parents.
Right.
I mean, maybe there's a silver lining to the cloud. Like if nothing else, maybe the newborns will get something more than
that's absolutely been a silver lining. So the hard part now is for us trying to figure out, how to transition her into the world, because she's been with us for 16 months every single day. She don't have no friends or family that she's hung out with, and so it's a decision point that we're at, trying to decide what's the right move, and it's still kind of nervous. So but yeah, man,
and important things like that will make you nervous, Mike, but I think from knowing you that you got a pretty good nose for good community. I'm sure you'll find something for.
Oh yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But anything you care about gonna make you nervous, like a high school varsity basketball game, for instance, right?
Yep, all of that. Yep, anything that matters, right? That's why we named this book and this project Make It Matter, because anything that's worth putting some energy into, anything that you care about that matters to you, it's gonna require you to be patient, be thoughtful. It's going to make you vulnerable. So I know this little one is definitely opening me up to all of those feelings. So I'm looking forward to the journey. It has already been a journey, and I know it's just getting started.
Oh yeah, bro. I know before you branded it, you've been about making it matter, but specifically, what is the Making It Matter project? Who's involved?
Yeah, so it's 17 colleagues / friends who all collaborated.
A lot of degrees in those 17 / colleagues. A lot of degrees.
Yeah, a lot of degrees, a lot of experience. I mean, from attorneys to entrepreneurs, parents, speakers, consultants. It runs the gamut. And so the producer Ryan, who is really the idea, the brains behind this project, he just thought it would be cool to have all of us come and bring our different perspectives on the things that are in our lane. And so I've been doing goal setting for so long. He's like, bro, why don't you come and let's have a conversation. So the chapters are different. Some folks wrote their chapters. Some folks, like for me, my chapter is an interview that Ryan and I did.
Well, can I ask you though, for those that aren't familiar, from the point it gets formed until this book is, the book's what is coming out at the end of April?
So we're in pre-orders right now. So folks who have done pre-orders, they have already started receiving their copies. Okay. and that's important. So for any aspiring authors or publishers who aren't aware, this is going to be available on Amazon, but Amazon always takes a little percentage. So we're trying to get as many sales as we can before it hits Amazon, so we can get that
Buy
full,
direct, yeah.
get
Let
that
them
full.
Get more money.
Exactly.
They're the ones who made it, not Amazon.
Yep. So we're probably talking probably since December that we really started getting into these these working daily meetings and conversations about putting a book together. So
and you formulated a course during this time as well?
Yep, put a course together. So we did the chapter.
This is online the course?
Yep, course is online, so folks can go, and if they sign up for the class, they will have access to all of our courses. So each author has a course as well to support
what are the subject matters that are covered in these courses?
So it's parenting skills, it's real estate, it's preparing yourself legally. Let me open up. Open it up.
By real estate, you mean like, because into my tiny forays into real estate, there's intimidating contracts to read. Like, what is this? What is that? Or is it like teaching you how to flip houses? Like, what kind of real estate information?
Just how to get prepared. His particular chapter is from a credit perspective. So, when you want to start getting involved in that, how to make sure your credit is positioning you. You
don't want to get a mortgage if the interest is too high. That was the problem with people, right?
Yeah.
You got to get your stuff together first, then get the house.
Exactly. So, we have some folks talking about legacy. We have people talking about financial preparation. We have people talking about diversity and inclusion, how to make an impact, of course, goals, how do you prepare for your future? So, I think, damn near anything that, as adults, as responsible, mature people that we're interested in, I think some aspect of this book touches on that.
And what was your chapter?
My chapter is on make your goals matter. So, how do you have a vision? And then how do you take that vision and turn it into a reality by creating a plan for yourself, by creating some goals for yourself, and then, making sure that you have some sort of process that you can hold yourself accountable for to help you reach it.
And I don't know, obviously I haven't read the book, but I don't know if you cover this, but I've seen that you speak on this. Everybody's got the expected societal goals of, graduate high school, graduate college. But I've heard you speak about, finding purpose, I don't know specifically past 40, but you get where I'm going with it. Continue to find something that matters. And, what advice would you give somebody who, they're doing what they're supposed to do, but, they're feeling a little unfulfilled, and they probably need to find something new that matters. But, as you get older, it's harder to get into new things. And so how would they find it? And then what advice would you give somebody that's having trouble starting?
Yeah, I think that's really important for people to figure out. First of all, we're humans, and we weren't just put on this earth to just go to work, right? There are parts of us that need to be fulfilled, need to feel good. So a part of our human experience is to just discover what those things are, and it changes over time. And when we're young, we have the luxury of feeling like we have all the time in the world. And we don't have a lot of responsibilities. Right. So we can make mistakes, we can blow money, we can do whatever we need to do to kind of discover ourselves. But as we get older, people kind of get a little bit more risk averse. They get a little scared. They don't want to do things that are kind of out of their comfort zone. But I think that's really where the excitement and the fulfillment of life comes in, is when you start finding those things that are really meaningful for you. So, part of what I help people to discover is, what are those things that you are always interested in that you never pursued? And now, based on where you are in your life right now, how can you pursue those things? It doesn't mean you have to make a career shift. it doesn't mean that you have to, change your whole life. But, if you're interested in starting a podcast, right, try that out. See if you like it. If you don't like it, great, don't do it. If you're interested in, becoming a fashion designer, that's something that you always said you wanted to do, or you said you wanted to start a nonprofit, or you said you wanted to, become a fitness
volunteer
expert,
in the community.
Volunteer in the community, right? All of those things are possible. You just have to decide that it's important. And so, part of having that vision and having that dream, the first thing you have to do is decide what are those things that are important to you in your life. And once you figure out what's important to you, then everything else that you want to do is going to kind of pivot around those things. But, a lot of people just kind of go through the motions and they never stop to think about, man, I said I wanted to do this and I've never done it, but it's still important to me. So, how can I try? I want to start a podcast. I don't know I don't have no equipment. I don't know what it needs, but you know what? My guy, Mark, has a podcast. So maybe I can volunteer with Mark. Let me call Mark up and say, yo, what did it take for you to do it? Is it hard? Is it easy? What do you recommend? I mean, those little conversations can really be the spark that gets you started. And that's fine, right? It doesn't cost you anything to get started. Getting started sometimes just, it's just a thought process and thinking, what is the first thing that I need to do? You have to start in order to be great. And, some people just let fear prevent them, or procrastination, or, whatever prevent them from getting started. And, I just
inertia,
Yeah. I just try to push people to get started and try
energy levels,
all of those things. But as we were talking, when life happens and things shift, our energy changes, our focus changes. I tell people we always make time and we always make money for the things that are important to us. So, I felt like I didn't have no more money. Like I'm at my budget and my finances are just kind of completely tied up, and I don't have no reserve money for nothing. And now I got a baby coming in the world, and I'm trying to figure out, like, where is this money going to come from to feed her, like to buy clothes, to do all these things. And now I found out, like, those things that really weren't that important to me, I don't go and hang out and spend money at the bar and go to the clubs and, all of those things, because now my focus has shifted to her, and I make time for her, and I find the money and the resources for her. So anything that's important to you, you will make the time and you will find the money. If not, it's not that important to you.
If you don't mind me asking, we're getting a little older.
Mm-hmm.
What passions, non-family and non-business related, have you found since, let's say, you hit the age of like 35 or so? Like newfound, or maybe just something you doubled down on? Like me personally, I got much more back into watching the NBA, and then I got like really into UFC, and like I slowed down on reading books a lot. So then I got back into reading a lot more again.
Yeah, what's
like something that's for you, something that's for Mike Powell, like.
Yeah. It's a good question, because I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I was a huge sports fan, and I'm still a big sports fan, right? When I was young, on Sundays, I'm watching the 1 o'clock game, I'm watching the 4 o'clock game, I'm watching the 7 o'clock
pre-show
game, right?
Fox.
I'm watching the pre-shows, I'm watching Monday Night Football. And now I don't do that as much. Like what I'm really into, I think my spare time, I just enjoy like the challenge of trying to be physically fit. Like that is really, and I know you work out a lot, and so that's something that we share. But I'm a big guy, and I like to drink and I like to eat, and so I have to keep up my physical fitness. And so just finding different ways to stay in shape, different trainers to work with, different exercises, different classes, like all those things that I like to try and just challenge myself to see improvements on the scale, improvements in my strength, You know, I like to play golf, but you know, I'm at a point now where I only play golf once a year. I play golf on Father's Day with my dad. Like
That's
I
dope.
used to spend hours on a golf course, but now, like, you know, that time that I used to do that, you know, I prefer to get up and go to the gym.
Man, you got a theme to everything you said, bro. Like you know what your common denominator is, man.
What's that?
Man, you're a camaraderie guy.
Always.
Like the universe put you here to be a connector.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I don't know if anybody ain't listened to the first episode we did. Me and him went to high school together, and we're from different economic backgrounds, and the people where he was from quite often weren't as receptive to the people where I was from, and Mike was one of the few exceptions. I mean, you was definitely the only cat from the Fort Washington Italian area to get acceptance from like them Glass Manor dudes like that and things like that.
Yeah.
Which looking back is damn near impossible.
Yeah, that's pretty big time. It's funny when I go back to you know, go back for homecoming or go back for like games and stuff, I just be looking around like, damn, like, you know, people who look at me would never imagine that, you know, these guys that I'm cool with would be the guys that I hang out with, because they just see me so differently. And I'm like, yeah, man, I've always tried to be cool with everybody and just try to connect people, man. I really believe in relationships.
But you know what, bro? It ain't that you tried, because it was just you
That's who I am.
You just were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true.
And then you monetize that, because if you think about it, that's kind of what your career is. I mean, sometimes you're connecting, you know, people that might have common interests, but also you're connecting people with their dreams or their motivation to pursue their dreams.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, bro, the universe put you here to be a connector.
I believe it, man. I believe it, and I definitely try to walk in that purpose and try to connect people, help them achieve their goals and their dreams, man. Because, you know, I don't care how many people say they self-made. Nobody did anything without help. Everybody had help. Everybody had relationships, whether you like to admit it or not. I know social media likes to celebrate this whole concept of I'm a self-made and I got it out the mud and, you know, started from the bottom and now we're here and all that stuff. And that's great. Like, you know, we all started at different places, but everybody has benefited from having somebody who helped them. And so, you know, I just try to make sure, you know, I can be a resource to somebody if they need me to help them get where they want to. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you this though. You were talking about people that feel unfulfilled, and you know, and happiness is definitely not always tied to money.
Yeah.
And some of the concepts I saw in the advanced materials for the Make It Matter book, you know, it kind of made me think about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
About how, you know, even though they won the championships, you know, they didn't find total happiness.
Yeah.
And you know, which is it's totally their right. I can't stand when people say you shouldn't complain because you got this much money. Like,
right.
If you're not happy, you're not happy. It doesn't matter how much money you got.
Right.
But do you think any of that, like been there, done that, and then not finding a new passion contributes to some of these NBA players' dissatisfaction? Because it ain't just Kyrie and Kevin Durant, you know, like it seems like they're almost like mental health shaming them while trying to fake say it's okay. You know what I mean? But you know, it's been mad people that was talking about like the bubble gave them issues.
Yeah.
But specifically people that have reached the mountaintop, do you find that they have difficulties finding new passions and become maybe not complacent but plateaued?
Yeah, you know, it's it can be a really empty feeling when you work that hard and you put in all the effort and the energy and all the sacrifices you make to, you know, achieve a goal, just to get there and feel like you're looking around and you're like, damn, you know, now what? Like, this doesn't even feel the way that I thought it would feel. I remember I was watching, I don't know if you've seen this documentary on Netflix. It's about different rappers. I can't remember the name of it, but it had, I know Nas was one of them. I think Dave East was one of them. Logic was one of them.
I see that, John.
So they were interviewing Logic, and I like Logic. He's from the area. He's gone very much more mainstream since he's blown up than when he first came out. But they were interviewing him, and during the course of his interview, he started getting emotional, and he was like, I'm so happy that I feel fulfilled, because my biggest fear was that I was going to do all of this stuff and I was going to have this empty feeling. And he was like, I'm very happy right now. He got emotional just about feeling happy. And I think
that's a profound thing to be afraid of.
It's crazy. Like, people are really scared of success. They're scared that they're going to do all of this stuff and they're going to have all this money, but it's going to cause them to alienate people. Like, I can't hang out with my friends. I got to go work out. I can't go to the club. I can't, do the things that I always used to do because I got to work and sacrifice so hard. And you have some of the most successful people in this world who are depressed, who are unhappy because, they work so hard and they look around and they don't have nobody to share it with.
Half the time, that's why they're successful, because they don't want to go home and be alone with their thoughts. So they put that hours in at work.
Yeah. Like they say that the court, the field, that's their sanctuary. That's where they don't have to deal with all that shit. And so I understand it. And it's not just athletes. It's, it's business people. It's, anyone who has achieved any level of success requires a lot of sacrifice. And so that's why when I start my goal setting processes, I started with self-awareness, because if you aren't aware of why you're doing it, if you aren't aware of like what the impact of this is going to be, why it's important to you, what gets you up in the morning, why you make these sacrifices, whose lives are going to be different because that you do this. If you don't do that, when you go through all the obstacles, when you go through all the challenges, you're going to give up easily because you don't have anything that's really connecting you to it. I mean, you can only, money can only make you happy for so long, like relationships and sex and all that stuff. I mean, that stuff is fleeting, right? So what do you have that's really you at your core when you by yourself that you say, this makes me feel good, right?
Well, you brought up social media, and another thing, an aspect that I've never heard people discuss though, is like, one thing that might contribute to, I don't purport to know what Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are thinking, but it also seemed like that they were counting on certain levels of perception, and they didn't receive the perception.
Yeah.
And I remember athletes really wanting perception on a level before, except of being perceived as a winner or as rich, or
right,
as a contributor or as a starter.
Yeah.
They were going for like public perception, and that ain't never gonna be all good on the internet.
And if you don't figure out how to make yourself happy, if you don't find beauty in your own struggle and satisfaction in your own progress, if you're constantly looking for outside validation, you're going to be looking for that forever. And even before social media, that was an issue with people. Social media has just made it worse. And so with those guys, I remember with KD, when he went to Golden State, everybody was talking about how good or bad that was, and he was like, man, I want to have a ring. I don't want to be Charles Barkley. I didn't get a ring in college. I didn't get a ring in high school. Like, I want that ring. And, he put himself in position to be the best player on that team that year, and he got his ring. But, some people, that's not enough, because if people don't praise you, if people don't validate you the way you want them to, or it doesn't feel the way you want, you may not be satisfied.
That's another perception is reality thing, because he joined as a free agent, right?
Right.
But let them have came up with some trade to have got him, and they would have been like the genius front office.
Yeah, that would have made them look great. But when he makes that decision, it's a problem, which I've never understood. Like, we play to win the games, so why does he get knocked? Because he put himself in position to win. So at the end of the day, I think everybody has to be comfortable with the decisions that they make. I think for Kyrie, I think part of his struggles is that he wants to, I don't think he's as concerned about public perception as much as he wants to do things his way. Yeah. And, I think what gets him kind of caught up is he gets so much backlash because he does things his way, whether it's, being connected to social media, whether it's voicing his opinion about what's going on, in the community in this country, whether it's, how he plays, whether he's talking about different teammates and their contributions or lack thereof. Like he wants to, and I think we all kind of want to do things our way, but he's very unapologetic about wanting to do things his way. And so
the only thing is though, bro, he'd be too brash, man. I don't know if you heard this story came out in the last like few days that when they were about to do the bubble, right? He was like saying that it was going to distract from the social issues at the time, and that may or may not be true. Yeah. But he was unaware that if they didn't do that bubble, that like every player would have been on the hook for the salary that they'd already received that to that point in the season, which obviously most of them had spent, which would have been like financially calamitous to his coworkers. Right. Sometimes he might need to, research what he says before he say it. Yeah. But the things about like needing time away and stuff, I don't think anybody should castigate him for that. Nah. Looking at him, I think the basketball season might be too long for him. I mean, if you're gonna get a good version of him in the playoffs, man, let him, when it gets back to normal, just let him start coming in January. Fuck it. Right. Well, the season is already too long anyway. Right.
But they got to make their money. So, I think I don't know how many is it. It's not 82 this year, is it?
72, I think.
It's 72, right? So I think if it were 72 in a regular year where it's not like this shortened off season and so many guys got injuries right now, and I think that's a result of them starting back. But I think if you had 72 games, if you had 70 games a year and a solid playoffs, I think the product would be much better. But Definitely. Guys got to take care of themselves, man, and I don't blame them for doing that. Just don't do it when I'm coming to the game. Like I want to pay my money to see KD.
Word, I can dig that. And though, I've listened to like when you put clips up on Instagram, unfortunately they don't stay there forever. A lot of them, and I've watched a lot of your. Well, you got paywalls to a lot of your content as you should, but you're a great speaker and you say great things, but I also know that you do the one-on-one coaching or more maybe group coaching or whatever. Yeah. And I'm just curious as what would be some of your more dramatic success stories?
Oh man, so many of them. I'm
talking about one that just sticks out in your mind as like somebody really went far with it.
Yeah, so I had a young lady that I worked with maybe 3 years now, 4 years, maybe, time's flying by, Jasmine. And she approached me. She was at a workshop I did, and she approached me afterwards and she said, hey, I have a project that I'm working on. Would you mind coaching me and just kind of, help guide me to make sure I'm on the right track? And I'm like, sure. So she was a scientist, or is a scientist. And without going into the whole long-winded story, her goal was to make a higher quality shoe, but it was a comfortable shoe. So like a high heel shoe for women that was comfortable, because she had some experiences with some really
and lasted, right?
Some really expensive shoes, but they hurt her feet. So she wanted to have some very high quality shoes, but were comfortable. And so we worked, and she had a vision for the shoe, and her scientific background, she knew how to kind of create materials and how to kind of put all of that stuff together. Gotcha. And I helped her prepare for a pitch contest, and she went out and she pitched and she won, and literally overnight she gained like 100,000 followers. Like, it was stupid. It was so stupid. And she won that pitch. She won another pitch. And 3 years later, she is making her shoes. Now, you know, she's gone through the same struggles as any entrepreneur, you know, the ups and downs, you know, COVID impacted her, you know, materials, stops and start, all that stuff, you know, trying to learn. But, you know, just watching her go from just having the idea to the pitch to someone sharing her concept on social media, and then it just blowing up overnight. Like, I remember her texting me like, Mike, are you seeing this? Like, my numbers are just going crazy. And I was excited like I was doing it, right? Yeah. But, you know, it was her. And, you know, I got a lot of people that I've worked with who've had some really great success stories, but she's the one that stands out the most.
What, can people like hire you to get them in the pitch meetings and stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, what I try to do is find out what is it that you need, right? And when I say what is it that you need, like whatever your goal is, how can I help you to reach that goal? So everybody's different.
Hey, after this is over, give me 5 minutes. I want to ask you something real quick after I stop the recording.
I got you. So whatever your goal is, you know, I want you to be prepared. I want you to have thought through everything. I want you to think about things. You know, if there's some resources I can provide you, if there's some people I can connect you with, like I want us to be able to partner up so that you are ready to go attack your goals. And so, you know, people hire me one-on-one, people bring me in to do small groups. I had a lady, she was in one of my sessions, and then her goal was to buy a new house. And she bought a new house, and she was so happy and excited about, you know, what I was able to help her do, that she had a housewarming, and at her housewarming, she hired me to come and help her friends to do the same thing. And so, you know, everybody needs something different. So I never know, you know, what folks need from me, but I just like to make myself available and we can figure it out together. Because it's, you know, when you're doing it by yourself, man, it can feel awkward. It can feel weird. It can be really scary. And so, you know, I just like to make sure folks know that I'm available to be a, you know, even if it's just somebody to listen to them and bounce ideas off of and brainstorm with them, that's not going to say, nah, that's dumb. That's crazy. You can't do that. I'm going to say, okay, cool. When are you going to do that by? Well, what do you need? Who do you need to talk to? Let's write it down. When I follow up with you, I'm going to say, okay, this is what you said you want to do. Have you done it? All right. Well, what are the obstacles? What are the challenges? Let's figure out how to get over those things so they cannot become hurdles and stopping you from getting where you want to be.
I mean, you like a blue check in that world. You verified, you know, like the proof is in the pudding. Is there grifters that are involved in these things?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, so here's the thing. It's not rocket science, right? It's not rocket science. I think that what makes me unique is that I'm genuine. I do this. I don't promote it a whole lot. You know, I'm not out trying to sell it. You know,
you definitely give advice on your IG more than
I'm not trying to get rich off of people. I tell people, you know, my information is public. You know, people can call me, they can email me. Like I'm really out here trying to help you. And if I feel like I can't help you, I'm going to tell you I can't help you. And this is who I think can help you. And that's why I have like I do a free consultation. Like just call me and let me get a sense of what you're working on. And if I feel like this is a match and you feel like this is a match, well, this is how we can collaborate. If not, that's cool. But, you know, a lot of people like the idea of coaching and helping and supporting, but they like the idea because they feel like there's money to be made off of it. And there is money to be made, but only if you know, you're genuine. If, you know, if you just trying to.
I mean, it got to work too, though. Like
it got to work.
The lady got the house, and it worked so well that she got it for a friend.
For sure,
you know?
For sure. But it works when you are really genuine and when you're really authentic and you're really thoughtful about how you are helping people.
I mean, it's more than just that, though. You do got the knowledge.
I do have the knowledge. But again, you know,
I mean, that shit didn't come from watching a lot of TV, you know.
No, it didn't. But like I said, it's not rocket science either. Like if you decided tomorrow that this is something that you wanted to do, you could do it as well. The thing that makes me different is like I know that this is what I can do, and I know that this is part of my gift. And so, I have surrounded myself by people and by information that comes natural to me, where some people, it doesn't come across as natural and it doesn't come across as authentic, and they feel like people feel like they're trying to sell them, and I don't really have that approach. I want people to get what they need, and I have a lot of experience that I can share, and hopefully it's helpful.
Man, we almost done. I just got two more things.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't be in a good mood all the time, and you can't always just be, because everybody don't want to be around people all the time.
Yeah.
But I know. I mean, people that went to school with us, everybody know everybody.
Yeah.
Like you definitely got a reputation for never missing shit ever.
Right.
So how do you get through it when you're in those moments?
What's funny is that people, and you're probably not gonna believe me when I say this, and most people don't, but I'm really an introvert. Most people don't understand what that really means, but I get my energy from being by myself and having my quiet time. So that allows me to go and be super energized when I'm with people, super animated when I'm with people. When I was at Oxon Hill, I knew a whole lot of people, and I always was kind of in the mix and kind of knew what was happening. But when I left and came home, I was the only child. So I came home to a quiet house. It was just me and my mom. My stepfather, he came in, but I had a quiet place. I went up to my room and I just chilled. You know what I mean? Like even now, my daughter, she's an only child. Her mom, she's an introvert. And so like, even while people see me out and see me being the life of the party and having a lot of fun and knowing a whole lot of people, I know how to get my space. That's one reason I like to work out, because that's my time. Right. Like I turn on my music, I get on my bike or my treadmill or, my whatever I'm working on that day. And that's just my time to just think and to reflect. Driving in my car, I can think, I can reflect. And then I have people that I can talk to help me process things when I'm going through them. But, I know how, I have the awareness of myself and how I'm wired and what I need. And so that's really what it starts with, is really knowing, okay, this is what's going on in your life. Now what do you do to balance that out? So I know how to find that balance.
And then we're gonna end it with this. This might geek you out. When you're doing these workouts, do you ever listen to podcasts?
I don't listen to podcasts when I work out, because that's the time that I like. I love listening to music, and that's like the only time that I get to listen to music is when I'm working out, or like if we're just chilling in the house, I may put on YouTube. But I do listen to podcasts when I'm driving. Well, that's when I get my... Do
you know who Ryan Russillo is? He used to be on ESPN.
Yeah, I know Ryan Russillo. Yeah. College basketball dude, NBA dude. Yeah.
And big time college football dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember Stephon Pittman?
Did we go to school with him?
He went to Oxon Hill for like a year. He was about the ball, played in the summer league, but
yeah.
I think he might have like broke his hand or something.
Yeah, I remember Stephon. Yeah, big guy, right?
Do you know what happened to him?
Nah.
He got arrested and went to prison for being a Vince Young impersonator.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, look it up on the internet.
What?
So you don't know none of this. This gets better.
It sounds familiar, but I can't tell you.
He was like swindling. I mean, he got convicted. Obviously, I have no personal knowledge, but he got convicted of like charging for appearances. He was dating a chick that thought he was Vince Young and taking money out of her account, or he got convicted of this, pled guilty. And they was making fun of that shit on the Ryan Russillo show.
Are you kidding?
But look though, so like when I lived in Houston, right? I ran into Vince Young at Buffalo Wild Wings, because in Houston you be seeing everybody.
Yeah.
And I had to pull up on him and be like, "Hey, bro, I went to," because I used to chill with Stephon a little bit with Armstead Ellis. We go to the Tucker Road outdoor courts and ball. That shit be kind of live in the weekend.
Yeah.
Like with grown men and shit. So I knew Stephon pretty good. Like he'd been to my house and all that shit. I've been to his little house. I think it was in South Lawn or something.
Wow.
And so I told Vince Young, man, Vince Young was fascinated by that shit. He wanted to know everything about him.
Wow, that's crazy.
But you know, there's also like a rape conviction involved in all this too. So
Oh wow.
yeah, you should look it up. It's some geeked out shit.
I feel like I've heard the story, but I don't know all the details. That's crazy.
But like Ryan Russillo was making fun of that shit. Like he ain't say Stefan by name, but he was like, I mean, I seen the pictures. If you fell for that, you kind of deserved it.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, now I thought you get a kick out that shit. But before we get out of here, go ahead and shout out your socials, the Make It Matter Project courses, the books. I mean, already on this IG, go to the link tree and you can get access to all that.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I know you got better information than that.
Yeah. So you can go to my IG, MP Consults, MPCONSULTS, and hit up my link tree. You can see all my coaching. You can see the Make It Matter Project, the book, the course. I have a consulting company that, we do federal government contracting, the Powell Consulting Group. So, if anyone's listening and they work for a government agency and they want to hire somebody to come and do some speaking to their teams or to their leaders, I do that as well. I have a blog that's also MP Consult. So really, anybody want to connect with me, you can just Google MP Consults. I'm working on a project right now that I'm doing a course for people who want to learn how to do goal setting and coaching. And that's going to be, hopefully, my goal is to get that out this summer, because I know a lot of...
Is that going to be virtual?
The course will be virtual. But I'll teach people how to facilitate the class, whether it's virtual or in person.
How long will it take?
So the course, you can get however long it takes you to get it. So it's going to be 6 modules. You're going to learn about goal setting. You're going to learn the goal setting model that I use, but you're going to learn facilitation skills. You're going to learn coaching skills. You're going to learn marketing skills, so that when you have an event, people actually show up and it's not an empty room. So
will you be able to help with any type of I mean, I know you don't always get jobs, like a lot of times you get gigs, but will you be able to help with any placement?
Now that
I guess it depends on what area they're in, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I tell people is, when I mean,
not guaranteed, just theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, I can't promise that, but what I will help you do is position you so that when you're ready to go, you will be able to put your best foot forward and you have some credibility, so people can see you and trust you and give you a shot.
And just in case, because we've been talking a lot of political shit on my show lately. This is available for everybody.
Yeah, anybody.
This isn't tailored to any specific group or anything.
Oh, absolutely. Nah, anybody. Whether so the great thing about what I do that I really enjoy is that I can talk from, I can go from the block to the boardroom. So, that's what I want people to be comfortable doing. So, and if you're not, whoever your audience is that you're most comfortable with, I want to make sure that you are prepared to deliver to that specific audience.
And like when every walk of life theoretically benefit from someone that can help them manage their goals and plans.
Absolutely, everybody.
So like the more different you are, probably the better it is for you to get involved in that.
Absolutely.
And if you could get you a niche and get well known in that niche, that might be a mighty profitable thing.
That's how you blow it up. Yep, that's how you blow it up. So I'm not the only person, and I don't mind sharing the information and help other people become successful, because there's enough out here that we can all eat. So I don't mind helping other people eat as well. I don't feel like it's going to take nothing off my plate.
Well, shit, appearing on my podcast certainly helps me, man. Thank you for your time, brother.
My man, I appreciate it all. Anytime.
No doubt. The Super Facts Show on the Super Facts Network. Check out my man Mike Powell on Instagram, MPCONSULTS.
Yes,
Peace.
Sir.
The Super Facts Network, home of Gen Pop, SDE, and the Super Facts Show, now available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts from. Come check out St. Laz, G from the Shop, and Mark Waldo Ward.